Hi, my name is Lutz Rittmeier. I'm from Eckernförde in Germany. Welcome to this recorded FamGEN demonstration prepared for the FamilySearch review. This demo shows how the FamGEN front-end interacts with the FamilySearch API, including authentication, person creation and update, relationship linking, place handling, tree retrieval, and export capabilities. FamGEN is available live in both German and English user interface. This demonstration includes the following steps: the login procedures, person creation via manual entry or getcom import, person update, parent-child linking, spouse linking, session-based person tracking, standardized place handling, retrieving ancestors and descendants using the live family tree data, export and visualization options, including getcom, topolla, and KML. Let's begin with authentication. I now show you the login and logout procedure. I first make a update, and you see at the bottom the FamilySearch login is not longer valid or has expired. Please sign in again via login in section 7, and it has a red light for not signed in. If I now do the login, it will come again, and this time now signed in. That's when I can start working. When I finished my job, I can log out again, and you see that is then confirmed that the token successfully is cleared and that the user should log in again if he would like to continue working. This is what we are doing. Before going more into detail, a short overview of the complete functions selection operation in section 1. Section 2, create update persons. Number 3 is operation results. Select persons. Number 4, pre-checks, start operation. Number 5, link persons. Number 6, fetch ancestors, descendants, focus person. 7, the login and status data. And 8, recorded persons and person links. And number 9, birthplaces, maps, and place IDs. I will go now into detail. Next, I demonstrate person creation. FamGEN supports 2 ways to populate the creation form: manual import or importing a getcom file supplied by the user. When a getcom file is imported, FamGEN parses the dataset, extracts identity, event and relationship information, and pre-fills the entry form. Before submitting a create request, FamGEN performs integrity and similarity checks against the FamilySearch tree. Detection of possible duplicates, identification of candidate matches, suggestions of merges or alternative persons, validation that the person does not already exist. These checks help reduce duplicate creation and support data quality. If the data passes review, FamGEN sends the create request using the tree right scope and displays the new person ID assigned to FamilySearch. To start with the creation of a person, we may select to do this manually or by importing get files. We do first the manual way, just a view name, specification, and data of my own. I am male, birthday, and my birthplace is Hamburg. This should be enough for this purpose. I first do the pre-check. You see that I can't execute the operation. First, I have to do the pre-checking. I find Rittmeyer's, but not my own name, but others, my uncle and my brother. I go back and now I can do the operation and I get the confirmation that the new record has been uploaded and also the person identification. And you see in this record file that this person is already incorporated. And I can look into the file in FamilySearch, what has been updated up to now. You see, Lutz Rittmeyer's in the system, my birthday, and the birth location. This is what I entered for this purpose. The next now is another way. I will leave this out, delete this out of the file again here and also out of the main file. This is also possible with the system. And now start with the loading of a getcom file. First, I load a getcom file out of my directory. I get the information that 25 persons are converted. I'm getting a protocol, what has been done. Yeah, and here you see all persons which were in the get file with the information such as name of the person, sex, birth, death, and also the family data, FAMs and things out of the getcom file. And I now can start to select one of the persons out of this list. I can do it by just going all through it. Or you see, always it loads it from the left side already on the right side to check the data and make also corrections if needed. But I also can select the data by family names, like, for example, Hase, then only Hase appears, or even by the family indicator, F1. That means the first family with husband, wife, and the children. At the first place, you see number 7. Here's already number 7 in. It also has already put into this data. Now you see another feature that is here, the file of the locations which we had in the getcom file. Here you see, for example, Pomerendorf and Preuschmark were 2 locations for this person. And to make sure that we are getting in FamilySearch standardized locations, we have here a function to pick them out of the FamilySearch database. This one is Barentshagen, and you see it provides us with the coordinates and also with the key for the FamilySearch database. Then we have here Kammersdorf as a second example. No, that was not correct. It was another one. We have to take number 2 for the same area, and Pomerendorf also for this purpose, number 1, Reuschmark, number 1, and Wöglitz, number 4. A very helpful functionality is also in here that you may look at a map, whether you picked up the right locations in the right area, because plenty of location names are more than one in the country. So if you go and look into, for example, Google Earth, it generates automatically this map and shows where these locations are. We have to wait a short minute for the files. And here you see it goes into the correct direction. Here we have 4 which are very close to each other, but one is far away from this. That means to the operator, check this one again. It might be that you have a wrong location. Yes, it is in Kreis-Neidenburg. It's not in the same area we need them. We need here number 2. And then also this is then corrected. The next step is that we can now look into the data itself we would like to load. You also see the marriage data in here, and you even see sources for this information which are incorporated into this upload. I do the pre-checking. And here you see already how it works, really works. We find this in the live database, but we have here the beta version, and that's why we can also upload this again. So the pre-checking has been done, and then we now can load this into the database. And we all can look already into the data in FamilySearch after this upload, whether everything has been taken over. You see, here is the file of Jakob Hese. We go in the complete person file. And you see here that all the data we have uploaded is in the database. For example, the birth data is in it. And also the source data we have incorporated already. You see here 2 sources we have incorporated, and we even can look into the Archeon file to find exact this data of this person. And also we can go into other details, but we should do this later. This is what we have done for the first person, but then we can look also, of course, for his wife. His wife is number 24, and we also can do the pre-checking and then the execution of the operations, what we like to do now. And you see, now we have already 2 persons in this database loaded. Now I will update the same person. The person is selected, information is modified, and FamGEN submits the update via FamilySearch patch calls. The user interface confirms that the update was executed successfully. We select the option Update Person, and now we have the possibility to load the data which is already stored in FamilySearch. You see, Jakob Hese, the data we have uploaded up to now is now available for review and also confirm that it is the person. And now we can add information like occupation, Schneider, a German word, and also a remark we can put in it, a note. He died in the age of 56. And here also you see words, and then it gets into the main field and will then be updated into the database of FamilySearch. What we do now, execute operation. The update has been done, is confirmed. And now I will look again into Jakob and look whether he is now a Schneider or not. And you see here his occupation, Beruf, is Schneider. And there should be also a note, Zusammenarbeit here in German, which now says age, he died in the age of 65. So this operation was really successful. FamGEN provides two complementary methods to establish relationships. Method 1, manual ID entry in section 4, where the researcher types the FamilySearch person ID to link the focus person with parents or a spouse. Method 2, selection from section 8, the session person registry, where every person preceded during the session is logged and can be assigned directly as focus person, spouse, and child. This reduces copy and paste effort and speeds practical research workflows. To show you the linking of a child to the parents, I first will upload one son. I take the first one, Ferdinand, and upload it to the database. Now you see that we have father, mother, and the first son, which are in the database. I now look into the option link child, and you see here are the fields open to the filling of person IDs, mother and child. And then I also could add 3 more childs, but I do just in this purpose for one. And now I do the operation. You see the link was focused, was completed successfully. And to check this, I can go again to the father in FamilySearch. And we now should see also the first son, Ferdinand, is linked to the parents. The second possibility is to insert it via the area 8. There I first would like to bring in more children into this database, and we fill it again with family F1 and take number 9. First, we have to check it again. It's a no. And then I could execute. You see, it's in. Then I take the next one, number 10 is in. Number 11 is in. So I have 3 more boys entered into the database, but up to now they are not linked. I can now do the following. The father, confirmation. The mother, confirmation. And the child Jakob. You see, they are automatically in here. And I say linked persons, confirmation, they are in. Do the same with the other 2 boys in. You see how quick this works. We have now already in Ferdinand, Jakob, and Gottfried are linked to the parents. So we see that it really works. Section 8 contains the person registry. Each successful operation, whether a creation, update, or retrieval, adds an entry to the log. This log includes an internal sequence number, the FamilySearch person ID, assignment buttons for linking. This enables quick work of persons throughout the session and avoids ID transcription areas. To show you again the major functions of section 8, first is the person ID with the links to the respective entry in the FamilySearch database. Here an example. We can go directly into it and look into the data which is available. Again, we can see here, for example, a source for this information for this mother. It's a marriage certificate. So quick you can go into it. Heise Christine Rittmeier. Then to load into section 2 out of the current FamilySearch database, the data into our file again, to modify information in the database, to add information. And we also may delete persons in the family database if we made a mistake. You see here, it will be confirmed. And of course, what you saw already, the linking, here are the 3 buttons, prevent, spouse, and child. Section 9 shows how FamGEN manage locations. When persons are created or updated, FamGEN extracts birthplaces and stores them in a place register. For every place, FamGEN stores name normalization, county and state information, geo-coordinates, and optional FamilySearch standardization. This ensures consistent geographically across important data. imported data and supports tools like location managing, migration analysis, and mapping. As you see here in section 9, the name of the places, coordinates, county data, in which state the location is, and even the key for the standardized database of FamilySearch to make sure that standardized location names are transmitted. You get this information by going into the database. And for example, in this case, we take number 2, and we even can check all the locations against charts. You see here the charts of Pomerendorf or against historical charts. You can display over the charts the old maps out of old days. And last but not least, you even can look into the Myers Gazetteer to find a location with all the descriptions. And again, a map. And how important this is, you can see by the name, for example, of Hermsdorf. Hermsdorf is a very common name in Germany, and you have so many alternatives, and users very often pick out of this list, which is so in FamilySearch, wrong places, and have it in really areas which not belong to the family. So this helps very much. And of course, as pointed out, you even may look into files, for example, generate map data, open it in Google Earth, and so on. We had this before. Next, FamGEN retrieves ancestors and descendants from live family search data. Ancestors are preceded using Kegule transversals and descendants via family tree relationship expansion. The user interface produces a structured output showing identity, relationship, fact data, and transversal context. We will start with the option Fetch Ancestors. The only information we have to insert into section 6 is one person number from FamilySearch. You see here the old data in the section 9, and now we're gonna start. Download from FamilySearch for 18 person has started, and it's already completed. First area we may look into is the log file, the protocol of all the persons which were in the data from FamilySearch. Even we are getting the locations which are in this data transfer of this family. And of course, it will be inserted also into the location registry, and you see new locations are available. Just to show one, Böhmisch Gut, we now can again insert the FamilySearch data for Böhmisch Gut coordinates, and again also the key for the standardized location. So we have loaded the data. We have a log file of this data we have loaded from FamilySearch, and we of course can also display the results. We have the Topolla tool where we can go into it. Everything is always loaded to the download area. You see it was generated right now, and just we can open the data in a family tree. All the data from FamilySearch are in this tree: birth dates, death, marriage, and the complete structure to the top of the ancestors of this person. And you also may go into it and, for example, see then on the other side what data is available. You even may structure it in here and say, we only take one line of this data. The next example is the data of descendants. Just a question of the number of records downloaded. I take the generation 2, execute it again. Again, the certification that the data is loaded. Again, the protocol is available. What was in the downloaded data from FamilySearch? In this case, only 3 locations. And again, the tree. This time, only 2 generations, not so big, but it can look also very different if you have much more loaded. For example, this example for 4 generations, also out of FamilySearch. My family, this is my family, and you see how many data, almost 200 records were downloaded. This is my branch here, and for example, here's my father and my mother. So really big data can be loaded via this tool. The last example is then the ancestors and descendants, both directions. We take the same data again, 4 generations ancestors, 2 generations descendants. I did it for the wrong key, sorry. First to execute. Again, the confirmation that the data is loaded. Again, the log file which is generated. And then also the tree can be displayed. As you see here. Here is the focus person, the ancestors at the top, 4 generations, and at the bottom, 2 generations as selected. Beyond on-screen output, FamGEN supports 3 export paths. Session protocol is the first one. documenting operations, persons, and identifiers. Secondly, getcom export, which can be opened locally or directly viewing using the integrated Topolla visualization to display an interactive pedigree for the focus person. And last but not least, the CAML export based on standardized birthplaces enabled geographic visualization in Google Earth, Old Maps Online, and migration analysis tools. These capabilities support professional research, documentation, and geographic interpretation. All products are downloaded to the download area of the user, get files, protocols, and also the KML files for the Google Earth presentation. First, to show you the protocol. Here you see, as you saw it already on the screen, that every person which has been transmitted is in the protocol, and also the location names with the county and the state, and even the year when this location first occurred. Then again, the example of Google Earth. So every product is not only available when you are working in FamGEN, but you have a historical documentation of all these data, and you also have the get files, which you can also look into. Or you may import them. Here you see the typical structure of a getcom file. And to point this out also at this time, the getcom file is not the same than the getcom X file of FamilySearch. So what FamGEN does, it really converts back and forth from getcom to getcom X and the other way around. So, and these getcom files also then can be loaded in the software to produce trees, and can also be imported into the trees. The FamilySearch API module is part of a complete environment in FamGEN. Here you see, for example, the FamilySearch module you have just seen. We also have the getcom entry generator. Then we have person search. We have sources which are linked to the system. And all this is for the support of getMatch users of the regional projects. To show two of the features, I first load again one of the data, like Hese Jakob. You see here, Jakob Hese, and you can switch from FamilySearch API to two other modules. First, person search. It gets the data into the other layout, and from there you can look into all systems like Ancestry, MyHeritage, FamGEN, Geni, and so on, and look what you find for this person. Yeah, for example, we are looking into ancestry. Jakob Hese, there you got him. You may look into MyHeritage, same procedures. You may look into GutBus. There's no person in. And you even may look into Million Graves, Find a Grave. You can look into surname distribution maps where these names are very often, for example, here in Ostpreußen. And you also can go to in foreign archives in the US, newspapers, and so on are listed here. And you also have your log files and favorite records. The next possibility is also GetCom generator. In this generator, you may generate your own GetCom files and take over the data of other sources. That is the purpose of this GetCom file. And here you have already all data available out of the other module. This concludes the FamGEN demonstration. FamGEN provides more than API access. It includes genealogical quality control, duplicate avoidance logic, relationship workflow support, session person tracking, place standardization, and export capabilities for visualization and mapping. Thank you for your reviewing this demonstration. We are happy to provide additional information or walkthroughs if needed.